I heartily welcome all of you to this gracious occasion of the inaugural function of GITAM School of Humanities and Social Sciences, GSHS Bangalore campus. We are fortunate to have the august presence of luminous dignitaries amongst us today. I kindly request them to come to the dais. Professor Nagendra Rao, the Director GSHS, Professor M.S. Mohan Kumar, the Pro Vice Chancellor of GITAM Bangalore campus, Mr. M. Shri Bharat, the Honorable President of GITAM University, Srimati Shukla Bose, Founder CEO of Parikrama Humanity Foundation, Bangalore, Professor R. H. Deshpande, former Director of the Institute of Social and Economic Change, ISEC, and our chief guest, the prestigious Padma Shri and Arjuna Awardee, Dr. S. M. H. Kirmani. Thank you, sir. We would like to invite our students to welcome our guest with a bouquet to our campus. Thank you so much, my dear students. Light symbolizes brightness, wisdom, and most importantly, hope. Dispelling the darkness of ignorance, light instills in all of us a judgment to choose between right and wrong. On that note, let us all join together in lighting the lamp to inaugurate the hope of an iridescent School of Humanities and Social Sciences that will inspire countless lives. I thank everyone for igniting hope in all of us for a brighter future. The music in the background was a tribute to the late Pandit Shivkumar Sharma, the legendary Indian classical santoor maestro. In order to initiate today's joyous event, I kindly request the Pro Vice Chancellor of GITAM Bangalore campus, Professor M.S. Mohan Kumar, to deliver the welcome address. Sir. please.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಗೀತಮ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಹ್ಯುಮ್ಯಾನಿಟೀಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಸೈನ್ಸಸ್ ಈ ಆರಂಭ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. I welcome all of you for this function on inaugural function of the GITAM School of Humanities and Social Sciences. I take this great opportunity to welcome the luminaries on the dais. First of all, I would like to welcome our chief guest, Sri SMH Kirmani, who all of you know I need not have to introduce who Kirmani is, though they are going to do that. But first of all, we are extremely happy you are with us today, sir. Of course, he is going to talk about the dedication which is required in sports. Probably is lot more than dedication what you require in academics. You know, he is going to talk about it. And also you are seeing the 1983 World Cup. Many of you are already watching the movie. The real hero is here. We have with us Srimati Shukla Bose, who is the head of the Parikrama Humanity Foundation. She is running more than 4 schools with more than 4,000 students who are deprived of education. She is giving them the education, right to education. She is actually showing them how all this can be realized with proper help from people like her. Without much ado, I welcome Shukla Bose, who is a very close friend of mine. We have here Professor Deshpande, who was the director of GSHS Bengaluru. And of course, in a formal introduction, people will read. He is a very professionally, we are quite close. We have met several times on various occasions. And I always have a very high regard for his scholarly this thing about his humanities and social sciences area. Definitely, he is the right person to inaugurate such a school. We are thankful to him for being here with us. Of course, everything comes with a lot of force in the sense of how to do, what to do. That energy, even at this age, I can share it with you, which comes from our young and dynamic president, Sri Bharat Garu. Wherever he is always interested to see what best can be done, what can be done for GITAM, what for Bangalore, what for other things. In that regard, in fact, he's been completely supportive of the activities in Bengaluru, and especially the inauguration of this GITAM Science of Humanities and Social Sciences. In fact, he has specially flown in here for this occasion. On behalf of all of you, I would like to really thank him for that. Last but not the least, the prime mover of this whole event, Professor Nagendra Rao, I should say my colleague because I belong to this institute here. He is here. He is the main force behind this to happen in Bengaluru. And he is the one who is going to lead along with his colleagues how to make this happen. I welcome you, sir. One or two points, I don't want to take much time because you have to hear a lot of luminaries here who are going ready to talk. Before that, I would also like to mention to you, we have here in the August gathering, Veena Murthy Vijay, who is one of the topmost Kuchipudi dancers in Karnataka and Bangalore. She is here with us. In fact, she shows a lot of interest to be associated with our fine arts school in GITAM. Yeah. In fact, though I am a scientist and an engineer, I feel probably somewhere I missed out on studying about humanities, social sciences, history. When you try to look at, probably I think after going through your career, you realize probably you should have done that, not something else. It only indicates the importance of humanities, social sciences, art and culture in our setup. Though as a scientist, engineer, I may feel we should be doing this and all the solutions are got. In a lighter vein, the solution problems only will start with all these things. Actual solution will come from social engineers, I call them. So they are the ones who really train all the people. And with the NEP coming in, National Education Policy, where we have seamless connectivity across disciplines, in which GITAM is showing the lead for many institutions, we are fortunate to start this School of Humanities and Social Sciences, and also to have very top people with us, and also the support from experts from outside. We would like to make a difference in this area. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for initiating today's function with your welcome address. Now, I would like to invite Professor Nagendra Rao, the Director of GITAM School of Humanities and Social Sciences, to say a few words about the establishment and the importance of liberal arts and humanities in the GITAM ecosystem. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Shayanti. Yeah, all the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, and my colleagues, students. Thank you very much for being here on this occasion, because I had to start with a thank you note rather than in the vote of thanks, because without all your support, probably we would not have been organized this event. All my colleagues from other schools, my fellow head of the institutions and the faculty and head of the departments, and all of you are helped us in organizing this school. We are very, very thankful to the help you extended us in organizing this event. I have to start this with thank you note, because as a School of the Humanities and Social Sciences in GITAM ecosystem, we have 3 mandates. The larger vision, probably our president will elaborate. I think he has to say his vision of GITAM vision of how to develop it as a multi-dimensional or interdisciplinary or transdisciplinary institution, in that way the humanities as a school or as a disciplines will fit in. I think probably he would speak much better than me, so I'll leave it to him towards the end. But what I focus is, we have 3 mandates here in this school. One is related to the larger university ecosystem, our contribution to the ecosystem. That there, you all are count to us, as my colleagues here from the other schools, and within our own school, our own programs, and the external activities or community development activities, which our school is going to initiate, because Dodballapur is an area where we have a space, or we have a requirement or no necessity of our involvement in the larger community development projects. These are the 3 broader agendas or issues before us in the overall GITAM academic institutions framework. And in this, we are this is the first step we are initiated here by institutionalizing this school. And probably all of you are aware that many private institutions are moving more and more towards the technical courses, where where more investment returns will be there. But this is one private institution which is committed to institutionalize or to invest more on the courses of the humanities and social sciences, because it's not only because they want to develop the liberal arts programs. Obviously they want to, but at the same time they want our involvement in the larger ecosystem of the GITAM, where we need to develop some kind of critical thinking skills, or analytical abilities, or argumentative minds. This among the engineering and management students, because most of the students who are passing out from the engineering and management are somewhere they are mostly going to the 3rd level or 4th level of the jobs. But GITAM is aimed to aim to get them into the level 1. Because of that, lot many programs are initiated, lot many initiatives are taken, like VDC or GCGC, which are career development councils, and their humanities also. For instance, when you are going to the interview and how to cope up with the systems or complex systems in the working environment, those skills will come when you opt for the courses of the humanities. So we are here to support all other schools of engineering, management, and sciences in terms of developing that critical skills or argumentative abilities and persuasive skills, so that you can cope up in the larger environment. That is one agenda for us. So we offer English communicative courses and other courses in fine arts, where those who wants to pursue some of your interest. We offer fine arts course like dance, music, and fine arts as well, painting. These are all the courses, so that if you have any interest, by joining in engineering, you are missing any interest, you can be with us and pursue those courses. And apart from that, we are having our own programs, like political science, economics, sociology, and psychology. Many programs would come in the future. This is the second agenda for us, and we want to offer a course, a program, a curriculum, which is very, very future oriented, and which will bring very prospective career and professionalism to our School of Humanities and Social Science students. And third aim is community development or intervention in the larger area in which our institution is developing. We are already taking initiative in the direction. I think probably Mrs. Shukla will speak when she is addressing those issues where we want to collaborate with her. So with I don't want to take a long time because many guests are there with these things, and I'll take a leave. Thank you once again to all of you to be here.
Thank you so much, sir, for charting out the path. Bharat wants to?
Yeah, just speak now.
Okay, sure. Okay, so I request Mr. Bharat to please come and take the dais.
I have it. Okay. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I want to understand my audience. Can all engineering students raise your hands? Okay. Okay, you can put down your hands. How many students in management, BBA, MBA? Smaller number. How many in sciences, BSc, MSc? Okay. So this is one of the problems in society, right? Most people only want to study engineering. Thank you to the guests, Mr. Kirmani, Ms. Shukla, Professor Deshpande, Veena Garu, for coming to GITAM. I think we're spoilt with choice. I don't know, the students will have the attention span to absorb all of this. Students, will you be able to listen for 1 hour and absorb what is being told to you? Yes or no? Okay. Because today is a special day. We have a lot of important guests who are here, who have done and are doing exemplary work in society. And if it can inspire even one of you, I think it's time well spent. So Professor Nagendra and Professor Mohan have already spoken about the intention and what the school is going to do. So I'll just articulate it a little bit more. How many in the engineering, how many first year students are here? Most of you. Okay. So I think most of you will benefit from this. So this is something that GITAM has begun from this academic year, your first year, from when you have been admitted. What has happened is, one, we have said that we will create a university core for 4 programs, which is engineering, management, science, and social sciences. All of you belong to that new curriculum that we have introduced. And this curriculum speaks about majors and minors. This curriculum speaks about doing electives. The reason why we have introduced this is, while you may have joined engineering or management or science by choice or by force, where you're... How many of you are doing engineering by choice, by the way? Okay, half, less than half. Right? So you are not doomed. You still have a future, right? And that's the intention, that you have an opportunity through the School of Social Sciences to learn something that may be of interest to you outside of your major. Your major may be computer science engineering or ECE or mechanical, but through the electives and through the minors, the names are flashing on this board here: English and economics and psychology, political science. These are subjects that you can all begin to study. And as you show interest, as more of you do electives, as more of you take minors, it will inspire Professor Nagendra, Professor Mohan to develop the programs further. Maybe somewhere down the line, Vinagaru will be here and we'll start a program in Kuchipudi, and some of you can also learn dance. We have Bharatnatyam. Great. So happy to hear that. The reason why this is important, because I'm an engineer myself. I studied engineering in the US about 16 years ago. And out of the 120 credits that I had to do to graduate, almost 25 credits I did in non-engineering programs, general education electives. So I did courses in psychology, in French, in English, in anthropology, which I wouldn't otherwise have done. And I think they have helped shape who I am as a person. And unfortunately, in most Indian institutions, this opportunity doesn't exist. So we have taken this seriously at GITAM, that we would like our students to be well-rounded individuals who are able to pursue their interest and in some cases find their interest. Because many of you may not even know what you want to do, who you want to become, what is your passion. So here is an opportunity. Make use of it, because if you don't make use, I have many of the faculty over here, they very easily say that electives we will not be offered and we'll go back to teaching the same core engineering subjects. So we don't want to fall into that. So this is a two-way relationship. We will hold the faculty and Professor Nagendra accountable, and we will also hold all of you as students accountable for this opportunity, because the more you make use of these opportunities made available to you, it will excite us, it will inspire us to do more. Why are these challenges? Because it's unfortunate that even after studying engineering for 4 years, many of our recruiters say that students can't communicate well in written English, students can't speak confidently when sitting in an interview, students can't display effective grasp over their core or domain skills. And this is a problem that is not limited to GITAM. This is a problem that is plaguing higher education across the country. And even the IITs suffer from this. In fact, when I was coming here, Professor Mohan said that IITs themselves have mandated that humanities are an integral part of your program, and all of you must do courses if you have to graduate from an IIT. So we're taking cues from all of these things to find talent in teaching each of these subjects is not easy, because I've seen economics here. Professor Deshpande will attest to this. It's extremely hard to find good economists, and even lesser so good economists who are willing to teach well. So definitely we are Professor Deshpande, we will leverage our relationship with you to help us in that domain, because economics is so fundamental to our life, but unfortunately very few of us understand it. So it's important to bring that kind of an approach to our ecosystem. I'm also happy that we're doing a school launch like this. We haven't done school launches like this in GITAM before. So whoever this idea is, Professor Nagendra or Professor Mohan, I appreciate this. I think this is an opportunity to sensitize our stakeholders on what is the vision, mission, intention of the new school. And this is the platform today. While the audience sitting here is a subset of the larger student population in this campus, what I would request all of you is to speak to your friends, speak to your classmates, speak about what is the intention of this school, and we would be really excited to see more of you participate. As for the guests here, each guest here brings a different perspective, all inspiring, and I'm really curious to hear. In fact, I was supposed to speak later, but I thought I'll set the context for our guests in terms of what we're trying to do at GITAM, so that it will feed them in when they speak. The larger ambition for GITAM overall, we have said in many platforms, but I'm reiterating here because we have a video recording and we have guests here. The ambition of GITAM is to become a global 100 university by 2040. Today, Professor Mohan's alma mater, where he used to work for most of his life, almost all of his professional life, is the only Indian institution that's ranked in the global 100 rankings, which is Indian Institute of Science. So India has a very long way to go, unfortunately. But given that there's few people there, it's a challenge that we've taken on. Why can't a country of 130 crore people have institutions that are in the global 100 rankings? So to do that, we need to be an institution that is diverse, that is multidisciplinary, that is pursuing excellence, that is focused on research. And all of these can happen not only by me speaking it, but by the leaders, by the faculty, by the students, really self-selecting and adopting into that vision. And every opportunity I get, I try to share this with you all, because we are not happy doing just the mundane, mediocre kind of work. You may have many different reasons or motivations that you have come to GITAM, but now that you are here, let us try to walk on the path of excellence, and let us all collectively try to find our individual purpose and collective purpose as we move forward. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was a privilege to listen to, It was a privilege to listen to the president of our university, Mr. M. Sri Bharat. Not only is he a visionary who reshaped the direction of GITAM, he also has been highly instrumental in the expansion of the School of Humanities and Social Sciences across the campuses of GITAM. I once again thank you for your presence over here today. Our first guest of honor is an inspiration in herself. Srimati Shukla Bose is a founder CEO of the Parikrama Foundation in Bangalore. Before we hear from her, I call upon my colleague Subiksha to share with us Shukla ma'am's fascinating life journey.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Thank you for being with us today. A short introduction. Mrs. Shukla Bose is the founder and CEO of the Parikrama Humanity Foundation, a non-profit organization that runs English medium schools for underprivileged children in Bangalore, India. A multifaceted person, she has been contributing towards shaping and influencing education policies at the state and national levels. Her professional work spans over 26 years in the hospitality sector and over 19 years in social reform, education advocacy, and the social sector. A TED speaker, she was also awarded the Pride of Karnataka Roundtable International in 2015. She is a member of the Karnataka Knowledge Commission and is the Academy member of Unread Organization, Finland. She has 3 papers in international journals to her credit and contributes opinion pieces for national dailies on education and policies. She was nominated as the chairperson to draft the Karnataka School Education Policy and works with the Karnataka State Confederation of Indian Industries and IQ Education Excellence Task Force to check on quality in education. She is also on the board of a few private and public sector organizations for prevention of sexual harassment of women at the workplace. She was with Oberoi Hospitality Group for 13 years and was the CEO of RCI India for 11 years. Apart from this, she has also had the opportunity to volunteer with Mother Teresa for 7 years. As a spark from there, Mrs. Shukla started the Parikrama Humanity Foundation, a rooftop school in Rajendra Nagar in Bengaluru, with 165 students from the slums in the year 2003. From there, it has grown to be the #1 social impact school in India for the year 2019-20. With over 4 schools and 1 junior college, Parikrama Humanity Foundation continues to offer high-quality education and support to 1,800 children from 4 orphanages and over 100 slums in the city. Thank you for accepting our invitation, ma'am. We are indeed privileged to have us with you today. On behalf of GITAM, I would like to once again welcome you. Thank you, ma'am.
Good evening. Hi, everyone. I love being with young people because it makes me feel young myself. But I'm not young at all. And as I was introduced, I have had a long journey which kind of indicates that I'm getting on with years. But I'm very fortunate that every year has mattered to me. And I am very happy to share those years with you. You know, I would first like to congratulate GITAM University, Bharat, Professor Mohan Kumar, Professor Nagendra Rao, for taking this bold, innovative step of introducing a humanities section in a largely traditional engineering college. From the hands that went up, all of you aspire to be engineers, and you will be very good engineers, but you will be even better engineers if you are in touch with humanities and social sciences. Many years ago, this word science had not been associated with social, because it was kind of, in many ways, looked down upon. But today, social sciences has really come up to the forefront because that leads to 21st century education skills that all of us require to cope with life. And life has become difficult. We saw that in the last 2 years. Take you back many decades ago, I was a fairly good student in school. And because I was a fairly good student and I broke my school record, it was expected of me to take science as a stream. But I chose humanities, much to everybody's surprise and definitely to my parents' disappointment. Because I think they had this hidden desire that I had to be an engineer or a doctor. Because that was, when I was young, the traditional careers that were chosen for so-called better students. So I'm assuming I am speaking to the better students here. Okay? So I chose humanities not because I did not like science, but because I felt I wanted to do something a lot more wholesome, more holistic, and actually beat the trend. One of the things I've always tried to do is not to get stereotyped. So if it was expected of me to take science, I always did the opposite. And this effort and desire not to get stereotyped has been propelling me to take many stands in life, which I am very lucky about and fortunate that I have made those choices. I led a fairly high-profile corporate career, but I left it because I felt I needed to get my hands dirty, get my feet on the ground, and to really understand what society is all about. When I was young, and I was in school, college, and I did my MBA, I volunteered with Mother Teresa. And I was very, very fortunate to be able to work with her directly, personally. I was one of those many thousands volunteers she had, but I was one of those regular, consistent, hardworking volunteers that every week, once a week, I would go and volunteer with her. She was my best teacher. She was the best CEO that I ever worked with. And I worked with many CEOs in my life. Because some of the business management lessons that she gave me were true to life. She called this was her magic potion. she called it the magic C's. She said, she would tell me, whatever you may choose, and I'm saying that, I'm repeating that for you, whatever you may choose, you need to have those magic C's. First is courage. You need to be courageous to take a stand, be it for something you want to do, something you want to study, some career you want to choose, some life partner you want to choose. Whatever it is, you need to be courageous. Then you need to have conviction. The next C, conviction, to really want to do it and take it forward. And that conviction will lead to commitment, because you need to be committed in whatever you do to make it a success. Then you need to have very good communication skills, because you need to communicate your courage, your conviction, your commitment. But most importantly, you need to have compassion. And that is going to make you as a person, how committedly compassionate you are. I've learned that, and I keep remembering it at all times. And it is because I remember it that one day, after 26 years of very high-profile corporate life, I decided to quit it all and started Parikrama Humanity Foundation, actually from my kitchen table and with all my personal savings, because I needed to show myself and everybody around me how committed I was, how convinced I was that this needed to be done. So why did I do it? I did it because, do you know that India has the largest school education system in the world, even larger than China, although our population is not as much. We have about 265 million children in our country, school-going children in our country, 5 million school teachers, and 1.5 million schools. Something to be really proud of, right? But our pride has to end there, because most of the schools that 50% of our children go to are dysfunctional. They don't work. There are less than 50 students in a school. There's only one teacher, and sometimes that one teacher does not even attend the schools. That is the condition of our schools. And the reason why you are here is because y'all did not go to those schools. But there are many, 150 million children that are going to these unviable schools. And they will never be able to enter the gates of GITAM. Not because GITAM won't allow them, but because they will not have reached the stage to even dream of going to a higher education. That is the sad condition of our country. And I felt I had seen the world, I had earned a lot of money, I had the power to do many things, and it was about time that I started empowering others. And the only way to empower others is through education. So why am I saying this to you? Is while you all are studying engineering, humanities, social sciences, you must also be conscious of the other world. I call it the othering of society. We other society. That's the other society. But it cannot be and should not be the other society. It should be one of us. And then only will we be a progressive country. Then only can we speak aloud and talk about things made in India, we build India. Till then, when 150 million children are not able to go to school every day and not be able to complete education, not be able to dream of going to a university, we are far behind. And as young people, all of you must take responsibility that while you are taking care of yourself, your education, you must also think of the other. And that thinking of the other comes with study of humanities and social sciences. I am a great proponent of social sciences because while science leads you to collect data, data analytics can lead to proactive, progressive thinking of what to do with the data in a social world. For instance, do you know that the fertility rate in our country is coming down? So I was a part of the Knowledge Commission, and I feel honored, humbled, and also take a little bit of pride that the national education policy has been able to imbibe many of our suggestions of the task force where I chaired the school education policy under Dr. Kasturi Rangan. And today I am working with NCRT in Delhi, writing heaves and heaves of papers that I just submitted a 26,000 word report or position paper on how we can revive school education in the country, especially government schools, and also implement the national education policy. India is a great country with fantastic policies. We think, we dream, we write, we theorize a lot of policies, but there are not many practitioners who implement the policies. And that's where we are behind, because it is very important to put these policies into practice, these schemes that we think of into systems, and to convert conferences like this into classrooms. Because till then, we will have a very large section of our country that will continue to be others. And you, as young people, must rally around to make that difference. Then only will it be a wholesome education that you will be getting and imparting. And it's easy to do that. It's not that very difficult. I'm often asked, how you started at this particular age, you're old, and therefore it's okay. We are too young. I'd say, listen, contributing to society, building a nation can begin at any age. All you have to do is make sure your parents, if not you, support one child's education, your maid's education, your security person's education, your someone in the neighborhood. Just sponsor one child's education in a government school. Take care of one street dog and make that street dog a community dog. You don't have to bring the dog home, but take care of it. And take care of one tree. Don't allow that tree to be cut or destroyed. So, one child, one dog, and one tree. If each one of you did that, would we ever be behind? If collectively, collaboratively, all of us did that, would we ever be behind? Never. And that is what educational institutions need to focus on. And humanities and social sciences can really look at that. I'm really glad that this institute is looking at interdisciplinary studies, because that is a very important element of the national education policy, and we are working very closely for it. So we can do that if we have visionaries in education system. I'm really proud to hear all the things that Mr. Bharat has in mind, and Nagendra Rao and Mohan Kumar, because we need people like this in the education system that will try and make a difference by approaching the traditional in a non-traditional way. And I, therefore, wish them the very best. And all of you, welcome to a world where there is no other. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shukla ma'am, for that illuminating talk and taking us through your life journey. It was an absolute delight to listen to you. Our next guest of honor is an academic in its truest sense. Professor R. H. Deshpande is the former director of the Institute of Social and Economic Change, ISEC, Bangalore. Subiksha is going to share his bio note with all of us before I request Sir to take the stage.
Good evening, sir. Dr. R.S. Deshpande was the former director of the Institute for Social and Economic Change, ISEC, Bangalore. A doctorate in economics, he initially worked as a faculty member at ISEC itself. After a brief service at Gokhale Institute of Politics and Economics, Pune, he returned to the institute as professor and head of the Agricultural Development and Rural Transformation Center till he eventually became the director of ISEC. His specializations include agricultural development policy, watershed development, WTO, agriculture and trade, rural policy and poverty, economics of drought-prone areas and rain-fed regions, economics of irrigation, and applied econometrics. Professor Deshpande is a recipient of many prestigious awards and presently is a member of the Karnataka Innovation Council, Government of Karnataka. He has authored 17 books and more than 129 research papers published in national and international journals. His contributions to agricultural economics have been recognized by the Indian Society of Agricultural Economics, and he was awarded the Fellow of the Society in 2011. Professor Deshpande has contributed significantly as a member of many policy-making bodies, which include Advisory Body of the Ministry of Commerce, Ministry of Agriculture, Planning Commission, Government of India, WTO Cell of Government of India, Committee on Farmers' Suicides appointed by the Government of Karnataka, and so on. He was the sole architect of Karnataka's agricultural policy in 2006 and the chairperson of the Mission Group on Agriculture and Rural Development of the Government of Karnataka. He was the editor of the Journal of Social and Economic Development and was on the editorial board of Agricultural Economics Research Review and a reviewer of many reputed journals. Apart from all of this, he is also a poet, a painter, and a social activist. I think this also personifies the purpose of our Humanities and Social Sciences School here. Thank you, sir. I thank you for agreeing to grace this occasion with your presence, sir. GITAM extends a warm welcome to you.
Friends, whatever said about me, I'm going to give you the nuances of it. But then before that, I feel honored that I've been invited here, and my thanks to my friend, Professor Mohan Kumar. I'm sitting among the great people, the founder and the president of this university, Mr. Bharat, my idol in my young days, Mr. Kirwani, whom we really felt seeing him on the TV, Professor Nagen Rao, and of all the persons, Mrs. Bose, who had done human service for the deprived children. Friends, one of the greater mistake in my introduction was that she didn't tell that I am an indisciplined fellow. Absolutely indisciplined, because I started with physics honors, got into army, came back, got into economics, learned econometrics, taught computer programming, got into development economics, taught development economics for quite some time, then into agriculture economics, and I was rewarded the best in agriculture economics. Agriculture is not a subject which I ever learned. I was never a student of agriculture or agriculture economics in my life. I never sat in the classroom. Why I told you this? This indiscipline, in the sense I did not stay in a particular discipline. Always I went on shifting. Why did I tell you this? Because I was to talk about you, that there is a relevance of humanities in the life of a person. The relevance is something which we have forgotten or we ignored. And we usually follow the Western models in order to implement ourselves. Many things we follow very blindly, like vote of thanks. Every function ends with a vote of thanks. What is that vote of thanks? Where did it originate? It originated in British Parliament, where finally a vote of thanks is proposed to the chair and then it is voted yes. We say, I propose vote of thanks, but nobody votes it. We just thank. We should thank. In any case, it's a pleasure to talk to you, because there are, I'm of that kind where I learned a lot from the other disciplines, and whenever I get an opportunity and observation, I try to assimilate as much possible. As far as this interdisciplinarity is concerned, in fact, the new education policy has often said multidisciplinarity. Every institution in this country, especially universities, except 2 or 3 like Gokhale Institute, Indira Gandhi Institute, except a few, most of the universities are multidisciplinary. There are more number of disciplines. And United Nations had given the definition of what is multidisciplinarity, what is interdisciplinarity. In fact, it should be not multidisciplinarity, but interdisciplinarity that should have been emphasized by the new education policy, but then we are here for interdisciplinarity. Engineering student must learn humanities. Why? Look here, we are human beings. And when being a human, we need to think beyond my walls, beyond myself. And if we do not think beyond myself, the difference between us as human beings and a worm is not there. A worm also lives for itself, does not think of its society. Worm also has small siblings, also constructs a house, lives in it till the death, enjoys the life, possibly, and then goes off this world. Is that the thing for which we live? Is that the one which is pursuit of human life? No. We are a society. We are a society, and there is one very interesting thing, which is the complexity. Yes. Addressing social complexities. What are the social complexities we are confronting today? We are confronting the difference between human and human, friend and a friend. I am sitting by the side of a friend who is of other region, other religion, other caste, other community, and then I look at him. Oh, he's different. We are creating walls between persons and persons. The complexity is increasing. We are creating inequalities, and that's what Piketty has said. What is today's problem? Today, we are creating inequalities to a large extent. Our major problem today is inequality rather than anything. We have left poverty a little behind, because inequality is the source for poverty. I am a teacher, I told you. I teach in the small children's school from 79 onwards. I used to go to a government school nearby. In between, there was a break when I went to Gokhale Institute, but then came back. Every year, on 15th August, 26th January, I used to give prize from my own pocket. I am a teacher. Of course, this quote, what you see, is not mine. My brother-in-law's. That therefore it is little odd size, bigger for me, and my wife had put it because it's cold outside. You wear it and go. Otherwise, she thought possibly, hey, this fellow will not be cared by people, and therefore possibly she had put it. Cold was just a excuse. Any case, I go to the school every 15th August, 26th January, give cash prizes to the children. Why cash? because they need cash. They don't need brass plates. They need cash so that, and these are the children, poorest of the poor, because in the government school in Nagarbhavi, a child comes only from the poorest of the poor family. My maid servant doesn't put her child government school ge yaar hogtare sir. Nanu Oxford school hakidini. Oxford school is under school in Nagarbhavi undi. There is a Clinton school in Nagarbhavi. Now, therefore, the poorest of the poor come there, 2 prizes, and it was earlier 1 teacher school up to 4th standard. I tried it, got up to 7th standard, and now 14 prizes every year. 15th August for the good performance in examination, 26th January for good behavior in the school. After doing that, I can see my children, my school children, are doing really well. My first batch children, 2 of them are corporators, and they have done exemplary work in that area. If you come to Nagarbhavi, I can show you, and even today, when I walk on the road, I don't have a vehicle. When I walk on the road, and some 6-footers, 5.5, 5.8 inch, all those goon-looking fellows standing at one place, smoking, suddenly somebody says, "Hey, Deshpande, Mr. Bandru." The cigarette is thrown. The teacher gets that, and an engineer gets salary. Everyone is behind that, and that is another problem which is complex today. Each one of us are commercialized. We are rather monetized in economics terms. We are going behind something to achieve more and more, which is absolutely going off. So where do we learn? We learn social sciences, and in social sciences, humanities. What is the difference? There is a small, thin difference between social sciences and humanities. Because in social sciences, all of us wanted to brush our shoulders against the shoulder of the scientist, forgetting that the dictionary meaning of science is not physics, chemistry, biology, zoology, botany. Dictionary meaning of science is just knowledge. Knowledge about the society is social science. Knowledge about the plants is botany. Knowledge about the measurement of machines, etc. is engineering. And therefore, humanities is slight difference than social sciences. Humanities incorporates human behavior into it. Therefore, psychology comes in. And I'll tell you the chronology of development of humanities. Initially, we were just in the understanding phase. And then we got on the expansion and unfortunately compartmentalization. I had drafted the entire proposal of Ambedkar School of Economics. Possibly you may be knowing it, it's called BASE. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar School of Economics was to be established in Bangalore University, and I was the chair of drafting the proposal of the school. Also, after presentation of the proposal with Chief Minister, Chief Secretary, etc., we got about 180 crores of grant from Government of Karnataka. The reason for getting the grant is different. I will not talk about it. But we got the grant, and the buildings were put in, the money had come. The first batch was included BSc Economics. But then, in my BSc Economics batch, there was mathematics, statistics. In addition to that, sociology, psychology, political science, English literature, Ambedkar Economics. Why was it named as Ambedkar School of Economics? Because Dr. Ambedkar was not just an economist. He was barrister, constitutional expert, he was economist, he was public finance expert, he was monetary economics who challenged Keynes. He was anthropologist. The first paper he wrote in anthropology was at the age of 25 on caste in India. Even today it's monumental. And therefore, the person who was completely interdisciplinary, he could have earned anything. But then, he saw to it that human beings are helped. I salute Bharat and his family for starting this institution, which really has taken step ahead of getting humanities inside it. The next step was specialization and super specializations. We got into westernization and rather copied the disciplines from the West and then got into multidisciplinarity, finally getting into interdisciplinarity. Still, our teaching methodologies, and I again say that the new education policy mentions pedagogy. Pedagogy is a teaching methodology for children. Mrs. Bose will tell that pedagogy is followed in the schools. Yes, it is. Because pedagogue is teaching small children, making them, giving them leadership qualities. And therefore the word pedagogy came. What is the teaching methodology for children? Or, if I call you children, fine, forget it. I'm 73 now, so I have every right to call. And possibly I am the oldest around here, though look young. The teaching methodology for the adults is called andragogy. Andragogy is something which you should follow. It is not the teacher. It is the student has to follow, because learning is ultimate, teaching is not. If I am teaching from here and some of you are doing SMS or doing WhatsApp, my teaching is useless. If the learner is absent, teacher is absolutely redundant. And therefore, the andragogy is a method where the learner wants to learn and get into. I request you and I plead you that you get into andragogy. Beyond andragogy is another method of learning. I don't call it teaching method. Learning method, which is called heutagogy. Heutagogy is a method where you learn by curiosity. You stand by side of a sculptor and see how he does it. In my childhood, I have learned how a cobbler, because my closest friend and friend, philosopher and guide, because he knew everything. Where the river is deep, where the mangoes are good, where we should hide, what we should not do, what we should do. And because of him, I got twice purified. Because I ate in his house, he was a cobbler. I ate in his house, and when I was eating, my brother saw it and reported it at home. As soon as I went home, there was water, panchagavya it is called, in a bucket full, and it was totally disproportionate because the two ingredients were large amount and the other 3 ingredients were small spoonful, poured onto me and then branded me. So I was purified. That friend of mine taught me a lot. He did not teach with a blackboard. He did not teach with a whiteboard, nor with PPT, but then he did it and I learnt it. He was doing it and I learnt it, how to polish the leather, how to stitch the leather. Now this is called heutagogy. No carpenter's son learns anything on the blackboard inside the house. No blacksmith's son or daughter learns anything on the blackboard. And therefore, I would request, if you have to be a good student of humanities, one thing you need to do is just to observe yourself around, and that is something which is quite important. Let me give you quickly the span of humanities. Why do we read it? Why do we learn it? Economics. Why do we call them as discipline? Because each one subject has a discipline of thinking. There is a philosophy of the subject. And if you go to library, you will find philosophy of economics, philosophy of sociology, philosophy of English language. Everywhere you will get a way of thinking of economics. What is way of thinking of economics? Meeting the resources to the needs and measurement of social phenomena. Now, any time an engineer works, now you have to, there are 5 gaps and you have to put the 5 screws. If you have 7, you choose correctly, and that's exactly economics. That's exactly economics. What is the budget? Within that given budget area, you need to fit all the sectors. And how do you fit all sectors? You calculate what is the productivity of the sector and what sector need to be encouraged. That's economics. What is sociology? Sociology is understanding the social behavior of the person. Why should we learn family when we know it? What is family? But then there are nuances in the family. Today, we are going from the complete, the larger family structure to a smaller family structure. We are breaking between us. We have a friends as an institution. And there comes the first discipline that a child learns in the life. None of you have learned engineering when you are born. None of you have learned science when you are born. None of you have learned any other thing when you are born, but you have learned political science when you are born in the first week itself. How is it? Where do I get my resource? My food, my milk, and that's my mother. Any other lady picks you up. Yeah. Why? Why? That is not the resource supplier. And exactly political science is resource and resource control. Then afterwards comes father, then comes auntie, then comes ajji, then comes... And that is how political science is making of institutions and comparing the institutions. Unfortunately, political science has got into a totally wrong connotation. I was talking to ma'am and she said that what should be the area, new area in political theory has been totally backward. It has not developed as much as the practical political science has developed. We need to get into the developing the new areas. We have not answered many of our unanswered questions. Your brains are fresh. Mine is old. It's rusted. I don't get ideas. Ideas come from the fresh brains. What are important issues that in front of us? One, why is that we are getting into Dandashahi? Why are we getting into so much of violence? Why are you getting into the split of the society? Why are we not able to manage the economy despite the fact that we are world's biggest, one of the biggest economies? Why are we not able to manage our inequality? Why are we not able to manage our resources? Why our children do not make to the level to which certain other children make? Why our innovative capability is dropping down? Why is that we are totally closed? There are many questions which are humanities questions. Friends, I started BASE, that is Babasaheb Ambedkar School of Economics, with this intention that I give them, and you will be surprised, engineering college has a laboratory. I had put up a laboratory in the earlier place where I started a Center for Development Studies. I had put up a laboratory of economics to make them learn economics in the lab. Unfortunately, the owner of that institution didn't want it to be continued. But the 6 students I made out of that lab are doing extremely well. One of the students just called me when I was sitting there, Niharika. She has got wonderful placement and doing wonderful. After that, I was worried about social science talents. Why talents do not come to social sciences? Once, the Bangalore University Vice Chancellor Prabhudeva and myself, we were traveling together to Hubli, and suddenly he said that we don't get good students in economics, sociology, political science, etc. Most of the students prefer to go to medical engineering, most of the brilliant. How do we do it? So we started social science talent search. You know it, science talent search is there. Professor Mohan Rao is aware of it. Mohan Kumar is aware of it. And one of the Nobel laureate was from the science talent search. So we started social science talent search and 25 scholarship, Bangalore University jurisdiction. The money I had got it from Tata Trust, and these 25 scholarships for 10 months, 500 rupees for 25 students. In addition to that, 2,000 rupees per year for purchase of books, etc. Now we have just finished 11 batches. Students of our SSTSS have gone to Delhi School of Economics, they have gone to London School of Economics, they have gone to various universities abroad and in India. Some little contribution they have done to the society. The reason is that they were picked up at a right time, right place. I'll end up with a small things. Remember Group 1. Group 1, and you remember Vibgor very well from your childhood, from your school days. This Group 1 is something which are the basic tenets of science. GROUP, group. Group 1. G is generalization. Science needs generalization, and therefore, any experiment conducted at any one place will give the same results in another place. In humanities and social sciences, I give 5,000 rupees to this person and 5,000 rupees to that lady. They will utilize it differently. In social sciences, the challenge is very big because at every moment, at every distance, things change. And what is found out today need not be correct tomorrow. So, social science or humanities is a challenge to the brain. Replicability, it can be replicated. It is generalized, replicable, GR. It is objective. Social science is also objective, humanities is also objective. But this objectivity is sometimes traded or negotiated, looking into the kind of situation. Like, you must have equality, but then you find a poor group, you give subsidy to it, and that is a little traded objectivity. Universal applications and predictability. This is GROUP, group. And one is open access. Social science has open access, humanities has open access. Like sciences have open access. But then, in social sciences, we are the participant of it, and our laboratory does not have, humanities laboratory doesn't have doors, windows, it doesn't have a roof, nor the floor. It's completely open, it's open here. All of you are participants of humanities lab, and we can conduct an experiment. Last is empirical evidence. This is something which is important when we think of, and empirical evidence is by observation, by asking people, we collect the evidence of a thing. Now, an engineer learning humanities is sometimes, why should I learn? Logic is the base of any engineering. This bulb doesn't work. I tell somebody, the person goes to see the switch first. Oh sir, switch is on. Then goes to the fuse. Then goes to the meter. Then goes somewhere. So it is logically connecting. Engineering is a discipline, or sciences is a discipline which goes through the logic. So also humanities. But humanities goes through logic. In between there are drops and ups because there are human beings involved. And among all these, psychology and sociology are the two. Political science is the first one, but psychology and sociology are the two disciplines which the child learns right at the growing age. He knows whom to ask when to go for a movie. Mother? Yes. Not the father. And nowadays it is ulta. Nowadays it is reverse. You ask the mother, you may get permission. You ask the father, you may not get the permission, but you ask the mother, you will get the permission. The psychology and sociology are the ones which tell you how to operate, what to operate, where to operate, and economics tells you whether it is beneficial to operate. If you learn humanities, you can be some of the best engineers. Last example I give you is our RBI governor. He was an engineer, and then finally he became governor of RBI. Reason is, was he trained in economics? No, he wasn't. Then how did he learn economics? He got into MIT in macroeconomics, did his Ph.D, Raghuram Rajan. I am speaking about Raghuram Rajan. He got into MIT for doing his Ph.D. but he had engineering. How did he get into? Most of the social scientists, they had the degrees from sciences or engineering. Most of the top level social scientists are Nobel laureates. At the same time, most of the scientists like Satish Dhawan, U.R. Rao, Roddam Narasimha, and Raja Ramanna, you take anybody, in the final days of theirs, after retirement, they felt that I must write in social sciences, I must write in humanities, and they turned to humanities as the last resort. Friends, you should not repent. Right now, learn it with zeal, have innovative ideas in it, try to solve the problems that come in front of you, and make the name of your university big and bigger. With these words, I thank the organizers for calling me. I'm really grateful to all of you for listening to me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your honest, humble, humorous, yet quite an enlightening talk. Now, on to the main highlight of today's event. We are extremely fortunate to have amongst us the national hero, the Padma Shri awardee and the Arjun awardee, Dr. S.M.H. Kirmani. No amount of words is going to be enough to encapsulate his magnificent life journey. Nonetheless, I request Subiksha to share his larger-than-life achievements with all of us. Okay.
Go ahead and read it. I'll stand beside you.
Oh, thank you, sir. If I make any mistakes, please do excuse me.
Please go ahead.
Thank you. Dr. Syed Kirmani was born in Madras, spent his childhood in Hyderabad, grew up and settled in Bangalore. He's the only wicketkeeper in the world to receive the Best Wicketkeeper in the World award during the 1983 World Cup, which India won for the first time. Dr. Syed Kirmani has often played the role of a savior and match winner for both Karnataka and Indian teams from many humiliating defeats, and thus is referred to as the crisis man. In his tenure, he has broken all the existing national records as a wicketkeeper and batsman. A thorough gentleman with utmost humility and sensitivity towards his environment, he has not only achieved great heights in cricket, but has also been acknowledged by millions as a great human being. Some of his administrative achievements include captaining the Indian team, South Zone, Rest of India and Karnataka teams, coach and manager of the Karnataka and South Zone teams, director of the Karnataka State Cricket Academy, chairman of the Karnataka and South Zone Selection Committee, chairman of the National Selection Committee. Dr. Kirmani is the recipient of many prestigious titles and awards. The most prominent of them are, in 1976, he equaled the world record of 6 victims in an innings in his very second test match against New Zealand at Christchurch. He was conferred with 2 national awards, the Padma Shri and the Arjuna Award by the President of India. He received the C.K. Naidu Lifetime Achievement Award from the BCCI. He has been honored with a Ph.D. in the field of cricket, training and social service by the Chancellor of Commonwealth Vocational University, Kingdom of Tonga, South Africa on 23rd June 2018. He took the efforts to set up academies with international infrastructure in the 5 zones of Karnataka, Mysore, Tumkur, Raichur, Mangalore and Shimoga. Holding a Bachelor's of Arts degree from St. Joseph's Evening College, he served in the State Bank of India for more than 41 years in general administration, community services, and customer relations. A multifaceted person, Dr. Kirmani also dons the hat of a commentator and has acted in a couple of Bollywood films. Apart from this, he greatly contributes to society. He is a patron of the Samarthanam for visually impaired in Karnataka, Matru Foundation for disabled children on wheelchairs, and a brand ambassador of the Cricket Association for the Blind in India. Currently, he is an advisor and consultant to sporting institutions and multinational corporates in the areas of personality development and motivation. A small piece of your long journey for us, sir. Thank you so much.
The President, GITAM, deemed to be the University Bangalore campus, Shri Bharat, Professor M.S. Mohan Kumar, Pro Vice Chancellor, Madam Srimati Shukla Bose, Professor R.S. Deshpande, staff members, and dear students of GITAM University. A very good evening to all of you. I'm deeply inspired, first of all, and honored to be amidst you all and to have been given the honor to inaugurate the GITAM School of Humanities and Social Sciences. Professor and Vice Chancellor Shri Mohan Kumar got in touch with me, and I must tell you that I'm here with this honor because of Madam Shukla Bose. Obviously, she mentioned my name to the Pro-Chancellor to invite me on this very auspicious occasion, and deeply honored by this gesture. Thank you very much, sir. And Madam, who read my brief resume, where is she? Thank you very much for your kind words. And now, I've been given the topic of youth and sports, importance of character, discipline, and dedication, which is the most important to one and all in all disciplines of life. Let me start off with what is character? Where does one start and how does one have a character, and from where does it start from? An individual's character. Can anybody put her or his hand to say where the actual character building starts from? Anybody? Let me tell you whatever little experience I have gained throughout my cricketing journey, my banking journey. It starts from the womb of the mother, the character building. I've heard my grandmothers, my venerable relatives, old relatives, when the lady is about to become the mother, or when she is on the way to become a mother, they tell the mother to be, look at good things, hear good things, talk politely, be a good human being. All these things are told to the mother to be. And when she does that, when the mother to be goes through all these good characteristics, it goes to the newly born system. And later on, the good things have to be acted upon by the mother to be. It is directly going into that child who's getting developed in the womb. And when the child comes out into this wonderful world, the upbringing of the parents is what is required for the child to have a good character. I am blessed. I am blessed by my parents for they bringing me into this world through the Almighty Lord, hale and hearty. And you are all blessed too for coming into this world through your parents, hale and hearty, which we all are indebted to our parents. Until life, we are indebted. This we all should remember, how they brought you up, what sort of upbringing you all had to reach this stage, what the sacrifices have been done by your parents to see you come to this stage, this level, and they are still seeing you going up, climbing the ladder of success. And you have to be very grateful and helpful in their old age. That is very, very important, my dear friends. Do not forget the sacrifices they have done to you while you were a toddler, while you didn't know what you're going to become. You didn't have the sense to realize and visualize what is right and wrong. Oh my God, what am I saying to all of you? And this is the realization you all should have. And this is the love and affection you should have towards your parents. And this is what I did to my parents as long as they were alive. The first thing I used to do, what they guided me, what their upbringing was, my parents used to get up early 5 a.m. in the morning and to have the first meeting is with who? The Almighty Lord. For waking you up hale and hearty, to thank Him. We two brothers used to stay right beside our parents, pray to the Almighty Lord. And after that, whatever the Holy Book of Quran was in front, please read at least one line or 5 lines or whatever, depending on the time involved. And then go out. Before 8 o'clock, you should come back to prepare yourself for your school activities. And this habit, and of course, to respect my parents, as soon as we get up, we were asked to touch the feet of our parents and take their blessings, which is very, very important. First, the Almighty Lord, for waking you all up, hale and hearty, and then touch the feet of your parents' feet, take their blessings. And by the way, we are all living in this world due to the good wishes of one and all and the blessings of one and all. Yes. And these are the habits which are being continued still. One wonderful incident I would like to quote. One of the very high-profile corporate who was the deputy managing director to a very high-profile corporate. Director and the deputy director were going on a meeting in the deputy director's car, and suddenly the director said, "Bhai, please stop. I'll come back in 5 minutes. The deputy director was wondering why he has stopped all of a sudden, and when he looked where he was going, it was the home for the aged. And the director told the deputy director, I'm just going to see my father, who is in the home for the aged. Oh my God. Home for the aged, and a palatial bungalow where he had servants all around him. And he had kept his father in the home for the aged. Is that the respect he was giving to his parents for what he was? Oh my God. You know, the goosebumps were coming on to me while he was narrating to me. And how I met this gentleman was he came on to invite me as a keynote speaker and a motivational and an inspirational speaker to his startups. He had started a startup, I'll tell you, you'll know how he started that startups. And now, while the director was in the home for the aged, deputy managing director took out his briefcase, wrote a note on the letterhead of the company or the corporate, writing his resignation letter. He wrote the resignation, and this is the story he's telling me while he was taking me to talk to his startup, employees. Okay, and while he was narrating this story, goosebumps were all over me, and I was boiling. How can such things happen, right? The director came in. By the time he was ready with that letter, as soon as he wanted to open the door to sit inside, the deputy director got out of his car and didn't allow the director to get inside, gave the resignation letter to the director, I resign. And here's your attachee, find your own way. He slammed the door, left the director right there, and took off. He was so upset, apparently, and very rightly, and what a decision he has taken. Holding a superb post. And resignation on the road, leaving the director on the road, what guts he would have had to start a new startup. And he's flourishing. He said, this is the most uncanny thing I have come across, disrespecting the parents in their old age. I was so thrilled. I was so excited, and so I congratulated him for that action he took. Because you know why, right? So this is what is where I was wanting to convey to you all, to respect your parents and to take care of them in their old ages. Whatever you might have done to your parents, my dear friends, it's nothing. If you say, I have served my parents until life of theirs, nothing you have done. You can be rest assured on that. Why? Because you don't realize how the upbringing, how they brought you up in your life right from the time you were born. Oh, wow. Superb. So that is where, coming on to the character building, is that the character building starts from the womb of the mother, which we have to realize. You say, why there is so much of inhuman activities going on? Because the upbringing right from the womb was not the right upbringing. As simple as that. This is my practical know-how I am sharing with you all. I am no speaker, by the way. It's all my experiences which I have shared, and I'm sharing it with all of you. right? It's very, very important that you have to dedicate yourself. The next point is dedication, discipline, and character. Now, I would like to add determination here, the three W's. Right, the three W's is, first of all, you have to ask yourself, who am I? Introspecting is very, very important, my dear friends, on a day-to-day basis. Believe me, talking to yourself is very important. I'll come to that later on, okay? Right, so it is, talking to yourself is very, very important. You have to determine yourself, okay, I want to be this one. I want to become this one. You are at the crossroad of your building of your careers. Of course, you got to be healthy. You got to be strong to combat everything which comes in your life. So health is very important. You got to be very healthy. So from health-wise, you have got a fantastic campus. You all have been provided with brilliant amenities and facilities, which I have never seen, which I have never gone into in my living, in my era of studies. Of course, I was a backbencher in my class. I don't know how I completed my graduation, or it's a story by itself, which I'm sure you'll read it when my autobiography comes up, which is under compilation, by the way. Yes. So I was coming on to the three W's, away from the three D's. Who am I? What am I? And where am I going? Question yourselves. You'll know where you are, what you are, and where you are heading. Am I heading, am going the right way? On a day-to-day, you can introspect yourself. Tonight, when you go to bed, look into your ceiling and talk to yourself. What did I do right from the time I opened my eyes? Talk to yourself, second by second. And this will improve your concentration levels and your memory power. Did I have a good day? How did I behave the whole day? Was I friendly with my colleagues? Did I learn from my colleagues? Question yourselves. You'll get the answers only when you are honest. That's the key. Honesty with total sincerity is the key, my dear students, for your success. And sincere intentions in any activity of life, you will be successful. Sincere intentions in whatever you want to do. That's very important. So on those basis, it's like the three W's which I have said. Get into the depth of those W's. And then the three D's. You got to determine yourself what you want to become. You have role models right here. And you have role models all over. Don't be like them. Be better than them. That should be your aim. That should be your goal. That should be your ambition. You have role models in all disciplines of life. Take the best things out of them and see what can you absorb in yourselves. Don't go beyond. Look into your strength, look into your capacity, look into your capability. You know what I mean by capability, strength? If I start thinking, I want to become the king of Karnataka, is that possible? No, it's not possible. That's beyond your ambition, beyond your goals. which you can never think of. We can never work on that. Look into your strength, look into your capacities, and then put yourself accordingly. Work accordingly. And by observation, you learn a great deal, believe me. It starts from observing your own family members, coming on to the class, your students in your classroom. Observe one another. In all aspects of life, you got to look into that. And that's the way to progress. Take the best things of one another. And do not hesitate. If you have any doubt, if you don't know anything, do not hesitate to ask the best student in your classroom. Do not have that complex. Okay, why should I ask him or her? She's the best student in the class. And by asking that student or the professors, or the teachers, or the guides, or the coaches, they feel good. Hey, man, he's asking me for help. And helping one another, being kind to one another, is humanity. What is humanity? Every religion teaches the same humanity words: love thy neighbor, help one another, don't fight with one another. This is what every religion teaches. Be kind to one another. That is being humane. This is what Salman Khan has all over his body, being humane, t-shirts, being humane. That is being humane, being humanity, humanitarian grounds, helping one another, helping the deserving and the needy. This is what Madam Shukla Bose is doing. Wow. She was a top-class executive in a huge corporate, leaving that and looking into the downtrodden. Wow. My congratulations to you. Picking up kids from the dumps, garbage pickers. Wow. I mean, these are the luminaries who are gifted by the Almighty. Not all can be like Madam Shukla Bose or any one of these luminaries who are here. They're all different. We're all different, right? So we got to pick up the good things out of them and try to be humane on humanitarian grounds. And that's the way you enjoy life, being good to one another. And that is how you should lead your lives. And you have to build such a character where you're acknowledged. Hey, that's a good guy, man. That's a good girl, man. She's a good student. She is so helpful. She's so cooperative. She's so humane. You know? This is what is required with one and all. Why fight with one another? Why be jealous of one another? Excuse me. I've used this school word, jealousy. You see, if a student is doing brilliantly, you're jealous. Why? Why are you jealous? Why can't you pick some good things out of her or him? Why can't you be encouraging and complimenting? Hey, great, good student, I want to learn something out of you. Do not hesitate. You don't lose your respect by telling that to the best student or the best whoever, in whatever field one is in. Do not hesitate. You gain more respect by asking, by taking one another's help. These are the basic ethics of life, which one should inculcate within oneself and share it. And share it. Why am I talking to you all? Whatever I have little experience and learned going around the world through cricket, everything is through cricket. Cricket has been my way of life, honestly. All right? So on those basis, the observation, the cultures of different countries, the families, the cricketers of different countries, their behavior, their mannerisms, pick the best out of them. And this is what I am, honestly. You see, we had, and there's so much of roar in the country, which was expressed. But why that roar? Why he is from that village? Why he is from that community? Why he is from that place? Why? We are all brothers and sisters. How did we win the World Cup? Coming to that now. We had a Sardarji, Balwinder Singh Sandhu. We had from the Christian community, Roger Binney. Right? We had all from other religions. The entire team was a combination from different religions. And you're sincerely a Muslim. How did we win? We all put our heads together. We did not have any, he is from Bombay, he is from Calcutta, he is from Chennai, he is from Karnataka. No. We played for the honor of the country. Can you put your hands for that? Honor of the country? Thank you. We never played for Kapil Dev. We played for the honor of the country. We wanted to keep the tribe flag flying high. And this was a brilliant effort by the entire teammates, encouraging one another, pepping one another, boosting one another. Come on, that's the way to go. We were the weakest team in the competition. How did we combat the stronger teams? You see, the complacency is the word which crept subconsciously into the oppositions which were stronger than us. We bottlenecked them in their complacency. अरे यार, ये तो बच्चे हैं minnows of the entire tournament यार, इनको हम खा जाएंगे. We'll eat them up, we'll swallow them up. With that subconscious complacency, never be complacency in your achievements, believe me. This comes in subconsciously, you don't even realize when the bad form and the bad time comes. Navjot Singh Sidhu, you have heard of him? A good commentator, is a big politician now. He says, and very rightly so, he speaks straight. He says the bad time comes on a horseback. You don't know when it is going to come. So be aware of it. Okay? So on those basis, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I have experienced and shared a little bit of experiences with all of you. So I have talked about determination, and you have to dedicate to the cause. Whatever you want to become, you have to dedicate yourself to that. You have to be passionate about it. What you want to become, you have to be passionate. Madam Shukla Bose was passionate about serving humanity in general, serving the downtrodden children of our country, particularly Karnataka. So that is where is your dedication to that, being passionate about it. And you should not be saying, I'll try. No. I'll try. You will never succeed. You got to say, I will. With that aggro from inside, it should build. I will. I will be the Chancellor of this GITAM University in the time to come. You have to take over the youngsters. You are the youngsters. You are the future of tomorrow. We don't know who's going to be the Pro-Chancellor amongst you all. To take over as the president of Mr. Bharat, Madam Shukla, We don't know which girl, which lady wants to do this humanitarian on humanitarian grounds. We don't know. And nobody knew that I would become a cricketer also. My parents did not know, they were discouraging me. Hey, padho, 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 padho. Dal diye, mere baal saaf ho gaye. Wow. Padho, 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 degree liyo, government ki job liyo. My father was a government employee, by the way. Okay. So on those basis, I didn't even realize, nobody told me what sort of a talent I had. Nobody to guide us, right? And then a small cricket team where we lived. I had 20 years of my youth were in a small one-bedroom quarter given to my father. I used to walk 6 kilometers to the school and come back walking every day. Father could not afford a bus pass, right? And from there, my first sport in the school was athletics. I ran 100 meters, 200 meters, and the relay team I was selected. Father could not afford canvas shoes. I ran barefooted. Played football barefooted, school level, house games. Hockey, some broken stick used to be the guys used to rush, and I was the last fellow. The patience which I have imbibed in me by my parents. And cricket also gave me that patience. You have to be patient in the front while playing, while batting. To get 100, you have to be patient. You cannot get what you can get in the T20 which is going on. In our time, there was no such thing. Nevertheless, so on those bases, it's a long story, my dear students and my dear ladies and gentlemen. I wouldn't like to go a very long way. You will read that in my autobiography, which is coming up by the end of this year, for sure. Okay, so on those bases, just touching those points where the basic living has to be, and it has to be enjoyed to the maximum. So on those bases, dedication, discipline, determination, I have expressed myself in my own way, and you are so lucky, the students, with such amenities and facilities provided to all of you. You got to make the best of it to the maximum. Make the best use of these. Make the best use of the professors who are with you. And one wonderful quote which I came across in a hospital in my playing days, to take one of my cricketing friends who all of a sudden, I was out and sitting in the pavilion, and suddenly he had some pain in his chest, some signs of a heart attack. And he removed his pads, everything. He was panting heavily. And by the way, that's all behind, leaving it behind. Getting into the hospital, a beautiful quote which got engraved into my head, which said, a little bit of common sense, which is uncommon, isn't it? A little bit of, and these 3 words go into the depth of these 3 words. Wow. A little bit of common sense, which these 3 words are used every moment in our lives every day. A little bit of common sense, a little bit of tolerance. You're tolerating with me right now, okay? Aren't you all? Kya bak raha hai yaar ye? You're tolerating by being quiet there, right? Okay? You're all tolerating, all of us actually, by the way, not only me. Nevertheless, a little bit of tolerance and a little bit of good humor. Hi. See what good life you lead. These 3 things, go into the depth of it. common sense. When you speak, you are speaking with a little bit of common sense which you have to use. Tolerance and good humor. Good humor. Now, let me give you one wonderful anecdote of 1983 World Cup. Lovely time, and it's a great thing which Balwinder Sandhu. Any Sardarji here? Any student as a Sardarji? है सर कोई सरदार जी है यहाँ पे नहीं है बेचारा. He would have enjoyed this. Last wicket partnership building between Balwinder Singh Sandhu and myself. And Malcolm Marshall, Joel Gardner, Andy Roberts, Michael Holding, the fastest bowlers in the world, and we are playing without helmet, without proper thigh pad, without proper chest guard. You see, the poorest equipment we have had in our time, okay? Now the first ball Sandhu is facing, he had borrowed some helmet, somebody's helmet, somewhere down the line. We were having some poor helmets. We couldn't afford the good quality. At that time, there were helmets coming up. First ball from Malcolm Marshall. I'm at the non-striker end. Top bouncer. By the time Ballu could do this, it hit his helmet. It hit his helmet. And he came out of the, away from the stumps, and he started rubbing the helmet. Can you believe? And it is depicting a Sardarji joke also. Okay. He's rubbing his helmet. I ran across to him to find out what's happening. He was seeing stars apparently during daytime. And in those stars, he was rubbing his helmet, not realizing it has hit the helmet and the pain is inside the helmet. अरे यार बल्लू क्या कर रहा है यार? The helmet को क्यों लगा रहा है? Oh, helmet को लगा रहा हूँ. Helmet निकाला. He started rubbing, and the other side, Dickie Bird, our time, the best umpire in the world. There was no television, there were no third umpires, there were no neutral umpires, there were biased umpires. They were biased umpires against us all the time. You know. Nevertheless, Dickie Bird went across using 4-letter words on him. How dare you, so-and-so, 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 can bowl a bouncer to a batsman, a last man who cannot bat. And in that rubbing, when we are hearing all this, he's come close. He's brought Malcolm Marshall to say sorry to him. When he said, he's the last player, he cannot bat. Ballu immediately, who do you think? I can bat also, he said. Didn't I had 2 fours? Ballu. I mean, the sense of humor. Okay? So on those basis, go and say sorry to him. Go and say sorry. So in his typical accent, Malcolm Marshall, poor late, he passed away with a very, he had some cancer somewhere down the line. At a very tender age, he died, being the fastest bowler in the world. And in his grave is the ball. The new ball was put into his grave as a remembrance when he's on top somewhere. He carries that ball probably, nevertheless. So on those bases, say sorry to him. Malcolm Marshall comes and says, hey, sorry, Naman, I didn't mean to hit you. Nah. And he was walking away, sorry, Naman. Ballu called him, hey, Malcolm, come here. He called him. And poor fellow with his head down, feeling ashamed, he got fired by Dickie Bird. Now, Ballu tells him, at this juncture, we are playing the finals, my dear friends. And our partnership built 33 runs partnership we had, and that was the margin we won the World Cup with, right? Thank you. Now he called Malcolm and told him, you think my brain is up here? My brain is here, man, he said. And at that serious moment, Ballu has the humor. And that is what is required, you know. And such camaraderie we had amongst one another. And now I must tell you another on the humor part of it, which is very, very important. when you are at the helm of affairs, holding an office, holding a corporate, or you're a banker, or you're a manager, wherever you are, you students, this is what I did. By the way, I'm sure the biodata said it that I was a banker. And before that, I'm sure you all didn't know that I was a banker, right? 40 years I was with the bank, not working, playing. Playing. I was recruited to play, but of course, after my international cricket, I concentrated on my banking career. Okay, I retired as the chief manager. 3 departments were under me. Community services, which relates to humanity, right? Community services, general administration, and official languages. I'm not familiar with any language, but they made me the head of official languages in the bank. Now, under me, all these 3 departments were. I called all my colleagues from all departments, general administration, community service, official languages, into my cabin. And everybody should come with a good joke every day. And in my cabin, they will all sit over a cup of tea or coffee, right? Each one will tell a joke. Wow. And hearty laugh with one another. Ek joke ke baad ek joke, everybody conveys a joke, and we all have a wonderful hearty laugh. 10:25 now, right? All jokes are over. Good laugh, historical laughter, khe laga ke haso, enjoy. And right now, go back to your responsibilities, and I want result. This is what Dhoni was doing, producing results. I think I must compliment him for the credentials he had as a leader. I've never seen such credentials and the qualities of a captain or a leader of any team which Dhoni has. And he brought glory to the country, winning all the 3 formats, right from test match. He won that format as a captain. ODIs, he won that. 2011, right? When India won the World Cup for the 2nd time after 38 years. Dhoni did that trick, okay? And of course, the T20 World Cup also he won. And what credentials? He took the team along. These are the credentials which is required, and here are the leaders on this dais. And you got to follow them. You got to follow them, right, my dear students, and of course the members of the staff and Pro-Chancellor. Thank you very much for the honor given in inaugurating the, what's that? Jaldi padho miya, they're all getting bored here. In giving me the honor to launch the GITAM School of Humanities and Social Sciences. And with these few words, I would like to wish all of you the very best of luck in your endeavors, whatever you want to become. Bring name to yourselves, bring name to your family, bring name to your alma mater, that's your college, and bring name to your state and the country. And with these good wishes to all of you, may God bless you with good health, happiness, and prosperity. Last but not the least, don't forget to help your parents. Bye for now.
Thank you so much, sir, for your being a part of our inaugural journey. I request our President, Mr. Bharat, to hand out the mementos to our honorable guests. Good job, guys. Thank you so much. Now it's time for the official vote of thanks. I know Professor Deshpande might not approve it, but unfortunately, sir, protocol dictates it. On that note, I request my fellow colleague, Dr. Ashti, to deliver the vote of thanks, or if you may prefer to call it gratitude note, to our congregation of stars.
Thank you, Shayanti. Sorry, Professor Deshpande. And I would like to seek your blessings too before I would propose this vote of thanks. Good evening. My pleasant greetings to all the eminent personalities assembled here on this proud occasion. I'm Ashti from the Department of Sociology. I deem it a great privilege to propose a vote of thanks for the inaugural function of the GITAM School of Humanities and Social Sciences. At the outset, we wish to extend our sincere appreciation to the Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Kirmani, Padma Shri, Arjuna Awardee, and former wicket-keeper of the Indian cricket team for gracing this occasion. Sir, we are grateful and fortunate to have your presence amongst us. We are grateful to our guest of honor, Professor R.S. Deshpande, former director, ISEC, for gracing the occasion and with his humorous and enlightening speech.